Hi Aries, welcome to February. Happy to be here. We're using a new deck for our Oracle guidance, the Threads of Fate, the Shadow Edition. And I thought this was really appropriate because we're starting Mercury retrograde right before the start of the month. So let's get into it and see what your strength for the month is and your challenge for the month. If you're new here, I'm Tamil and I'm the founder of Overflow. And every month I do oracle guidance for the collective, and then we go deeper inside the sanctuary, which is our private membership for communion with yourself first and foremost, and soul family. It is a closed portal, so you would, if you're interested in joining us, you can get on the wait list for when we open next quarter. However, if you join REBIRTH, which is our 12-week immersion program that I've talked about here, but if you're new here and you haven't seen it, you can check out past videos and the link in bio. But if you join REBIRTH, you get access to the sanctuary through 2021 immediately. So we welcome you to join us. Ooh, I love it. Challenge, Spirit. Okay, all right. Bottom of the deck is nature, which kind of makes me feel this is where you will be doing the most learning or can gain the most wisdom. We're going to be learning a lot from the elementals in REBIRTH, but your strength is the Sage. This is feeling like wisdom. This is you taking and putting into practice the things that you've learned. This is you observing and not being reactionary. This is you honoring Mercury retrograde, closing your mouth, honestly, not necessarily because you don't have any opinions or you don't have anything to say, but it feels like your thoughts, it's better served for you. Like these are your messages, these are your lessons, and you're gonna like govern yourself accordingly and let other people honestly watch or learn from your example. This also feels like you coming into your own, respecting the things that you've learned, the things that you're good at, and like really taking up space in your expertise, whatever area that is, and like being comfortable in the work that you're doing and a little bit unapologetic. And it's not from a place of ego, it's just a place of earned, honestly. The challenge, you got the Sovereign. And for me, what this feels like is even though you're getting comfortable with your knowledge, your skill set, what it is that you've been sent here to do, you may still be having some issues with boundary setting, with charging certain price points, or feeling compelled to do things that you don't actually want to do just in the name of service. So you want to watch that. Let's look at the book. The Sage encourages you to see things from a higher perspective. Sage loves teaching others, but knows when and when not to share their thoughts with others. They save their energy and their wisdom for those that can truly value and integrate it, We may feel passionate about what we're saying, but we also must allow for individual responsibility. Folks got to learn their own lessons sometimes. Healthy sage encourages us to share our wisdom, but to do so in a way that empowers others. Sage respects that everyone is where they are supposed to be in their process. They do not teach from a place of ego. Come on, Spirit, with the clear channel. The sage calls you to tap into the wisest part of yourself. This card serves as an invitation to explore yourself without judgment or shame. Simply be and see what you find. It is also an invitation to bring the wisdom you have found in your reflecting to others. The sage asks, what are you here to teach? What is your message? The sage is all about exploring their internal landscape and finding truth. They are not attached to outcomes and simply want to see everything for what it is rather than manipulating the external. Balanced sage is a pillar in their community. They are in service to others, not for their own ego. They often do a lot behind the scenes. So that feels like you also embracing that as like important. Like maybe you don't have a certain level of visibility, but you're powerful. So that's not even the question here. But the sovereignty that comes from that place of security of knowing like what your role is helps to like control your energy out, because you're not proving anything because you want some type of external validation. Their ability to affect change is widespread, but others may not notice it. Unbalanced sage energy can include heavy criticism, a dogmatic disposition, being controlling, and manipulating. They may disregard their students' feelings and experiences and think that only they are right. Sage, at its worst, thinks that there is nothing left to learn because they know it already. So you want to observe, especially during this retrograde and kind of the full moon in Leo that starts the month, the places and where your ego is asking you to tend to that place of, I know this, why aren't they listening to me, why, and just kind of calling that energy back to yourself and be like, okay, I am here for the people who are ready for what I'm offering, right? Okay. The challenge. The Sovereign card invites us to activate the leader, visionary, and enthusiast within us. It is time to welcome in passion and fire while creating structure that allows for you to nurture your dreams. Sovereign creates a container which allows for growth within themselves and others. They approach situations with a no bullshit attitude and may come across as harsh to some people. Their strong boundaries and opinions may even be intimidating to others. But in reality, it is their way of nurturing. Aries. But remember what I said, as the challenge, it feels like either you're struggling to have or incorporate your strong boundaries, and you may be keeping your thoughts and opinions to yourself when it's actually appropriate for you to be giving them. So no shrinking. They have no interest in appeasing others simply to keep them comfortable. They will continue to push those around them so that they can grow. The Sovereign also tells us to create structure. From a place of structure, the Sovereign knows that life runs more smoothly, allowing for the manifestation of true success, security, and happiness. So where are the places where you're not keeping your promises to yourself? Where are you too busy worrying about what other people are doing versus you sticking to your schedule, sticking to the things that you set out to do? So bringing that, your eyes to your own paper. Where in your life do you continually find chaos? Where are your energy and resources getting sapped? The Sovereign invites you to examine those situations practically and cut out what is no longer serving you. This is not a time for being sentimental or nostalgic, but it's Mercury retrograde, so that may be a struggle. The Sovereign is realistic about what is needed and gets it done, knowing that it makes room for true peace. The Balanced Sovereign is a leader that belongs only to themselves. They are in service to others by choice, not compulsion, not guilt. They are in service to others by choice, and their method of leading is in empowering others. They are strong and know just how capable they are. They will claim their space without hesitating, inviting the others around them to do the same. An unbalanced sovereign energy may become domineering. They can become too controlling and boundaried, not creating space for emotional connections and softness with those in their life. They fear not being in control and in turn may lash out at those around them and micromanage everything their loved ones do. So be mindful of that during this Mercury retrograde. Look to nature to see how you can find balance to your fire. Be very, very mindful of critiquing other people at this time for Mercury retrograde, because it seems like it is a distraction to the issues that are coming up within you, to see where you have either given away your power or could be taking up more room in your life, or making more room for the things that you want to do. But also that part about being soft really spoke to me, and allowing, using this time of retrograde to really fall back and to be a witness is what's really speaking to me, Aries. So let's get into the reading.